Waking up a lot drier than what we were seeing just 2 days ago and what we saw yesterday. Many of us are going to be looking at a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the early morning all the way into the evening hours. Very small chance for a stray shower later on for this evening, but most of us will continue to be mainly dry. A couple more chances for a few weekend showers throughout Saturday and then again for Sunday, but again, they are going to be very spotty, kind of like what we saw throughout this week. Today's really the driest day for the weekend. Many of us are going to see just a little bit more sunshine with temperatures that are warming up, and we're expected to see anything from 70s, and then it's going to feel even warmer when you factor in that humidity. So many of us are also looking anywhere from upper 80s by the afternoon to lower 90s for your highs. It is going to feel warmer than that though, because we also have that humidity that's going to be anywhere in the upper 90s, and it does stick around for the weekend. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Krista, thank you so much. We've been talking about it all morning, but the annual tax-free weekend, it's officially here. The 3-day event kicks off this morning across all of South Carolina. Let's check in with News 13's Cameron Townsend, who is live this morning at the Tanger Outlets in 501. Cameron, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jevin. We are outside of Tanger Outlets. We're kicking off that 26th annual sales weekend that we have been talking about all morning. I'm here again with Sarah, the marketing director here at the Tanger Outlets. And Sarah, what can people expect? I know we have obviously tax-free weekend. Are there any other deals that shoppers are going to be able to kind of add on to the tax-free weekend and get more savings?
Yes, absolutely. So on top of just the typical Tanger experience, we have our Tanger Deal Days happening right now that people can expect to have additional savings that is up to 15 to 25% off at various stores. And the best thing that people can do is actually download the app and see which stores they want to hit up and plan their trips. So, and if they forget the app, they can also see on the door decals of each store what they can save. So.
I've been seeing those all around. I'm looking down here, 70%. We've got 60%. Y'all got to get down here. What other advice would you have for someone? Maybe this is their first time coming in. Just some general tips and tricks about the weekend, what they should know before heading out.
Yeah, so we have plenty of parking, but this is a very busy weekend. We definitely see higher traffic. And as for today, we do even have an event from 12 to 2, so that is super fun for the kids to make the shopping trip a little bit more exciting. But planning ahead and understanding maybe which stores they want to go to, and again, you can see that in the app, but planning that out really helps in terms of logistics for their experience.
It makes sense. You guys got to plan it out. And we'll give you one more reminder for those North Carolina viewers. This is South Carolina only, so you'll have to travel over that border if you want to get into those shopping deals. Anything else you can think of that we should know?
I don't think so, but we're excited to see you guys here.
Come out and shop. Live in Carolina Forest, Cameron Townsend, News 13.
News 13 on-time traffic, sponsored by Joy Law Firm. Just call Joy.
And to look at your morning commute, we're not seeing any slowdowns right now for parts of 17 and 501. Many of our drive times are moving smoothly. Just a few cars out there for parts of US 17 and 10th Avenue, but it is a little bit of a quiet morning. 501 Highway 544 to Carolina Forest, drive times are 7 minutes. 17 Farrell Parkway to Glens Bay will take you 6. 17 Mr. Joe White to 82nd Parkway is moving about 8 minutes. And it is quiet as well for parts of downtown Florence. A little bit of some slowdowns though, but we are seeing some more dense patchy fog for the inland areas. So just be mindful of that while you're hitting the roads. 52 Palmetto to I-95 will take you 5 minutes. 76 5 Points to Irby is moving at 3. And 95 TV Road to 76 is moving on time with 10 minutes.
Krista, thank you. On your morning crime tracker, Pawleys Island Community Church and its school are facing another lawsuit. The latest is a proposed federal class action lawsuit. It claims negligence on the part of the church and school leaders, saying they knowingly allowed registered sex offender Warren Perry to work around children. The lawsuit also claims leadership dismissed concerns raised about Perry's presence around children. Previous lawsuits filed in the past month have made similar claims. You'll find all our coverage on this story at WBTW.com. People in North Carolina's hemp industry say they're breathing a sigh of relief for now. State House members decided not to move forward with a vote on a bill that would put new restrictions on businesses selling cannabis products. The measure got support in the state Senate, and it would tie the state's rules to tighter federal limits on the amount of THC allowed in hemp products. Business owners say that would eliminate most of what they sell.
We fully believe in proper regulation that protects the consumers, forces us to have lab tests and stuff that we're already doing, but we understand we can't control every other company in this industry and whatnot, right? But to simply take away a product that has this much demand, this much value, this much economic impact is, I'm just going to say, baffling.
A large group of North Carolina police chiefs, sheriffs, and prosecutors support the hemp bill, saying it's needed to protect children. On the federal scene, a fight among Republicans over a legalized high could cause a government shutdown. Lawmakers are negotiating a ban of hemp products. News Nation Washington correspondent Vinay Simlot joins us live to explain the delay. Vinay, good morning to you.
Jevin, good morning to you. Now, there is a ban on certain hemp products that's supposed to go into effect in November of this year, but there's a provision in the government funding bill that would avoid a government shutdown that would delay the start of that ban, and that's getting some pushback from senators. Vice President J.D. Vance visited Republican senators on Thursday as the Trump administration tries to get Congress to delay a ban on certain hemp products. The delay is part of a funding bill that has bipartisan support. Several Republican senators say they won't agree to it.
I'm not going to waver. I'm not going to stop until this life-threatening loophole is closed permanently.
Hemp is the same plant as marijuana. Marijuana has high levels of delta-9 THC, the chemical that changes brain function. The 2018 Farm Bill allowed farmers to grow hemp but put a legal limit on delta-9 to less than 0.3%. So manufacturers started making products with delta-8 or delta-10 THC, enough to get people high.
This is an industry that, because we made a mistake in the Farm Bill in 2018, has taken advantage of a loophole in the law.
Now gas stations and convenience stores across the country sell hemp-derived THC vapes, gummies, candies, and other products. Last year, Congress changed the law from limiting delta-9 to limit all types of THC. It would go into effect in November, but the Trump administration wants to delay that. Stacey McCaskill owns a hemp farm and opposes a ban.
There is just an overreaction against a chemical called THC.
And these negotiations are part of a government spending bill that would fund the government through December 11th. Lawmakers are trying to fund the government through the midterm elections. The Senate is scheduled to vote on that funding bill today. It may include a vote on an amendment to strip that delay of the hemp ban out of the bill. Jevin?
Vinay, thank you so much. Well, News 13 is your local election headquarters, and one of the Republican primary Senate candidates, Mark Sanford, brought 3 pigs to the South Carolina State House in Columbia on Thursday. It's something he did as governor 22 years ago to protest wasteful pork barrel spending. The former governor and congressman said he had 2 reasons for returning with the animals.
Resolve that was shown 22 years ago, a degree of financial scrutiny and detail that was shown 22 years ago, and I think both of those things are needed in D.C., and that's, in essence, the basis of this candidacy.
Sanford was one of the 4 candidates to take the debate stage this week in an event hosted by Nexstar and News 13. You can watch the entire debate on our website, WBTW.com. And a reminder, today is the last day to vote early in the special U.S. Senate Republican primary. Polls will be open from 8:30 this morning until 5 p.m. All registered voters are able to vote early, but voters who cast a ballot in the June Democratic primary are not eligible to vote in this special election. Election day is set for August 11th, and if a runoff is needed, that'll happen on the 25th. The winner will replace the late Senator Lindsey Graham on the ballot and face Democrat Dr. Annie Andrews in November. And if you do plan to vote early, here is a look at some of the names that you will see on the ballots. Candidates include Congressman Ralph Norman and Russell Fry, former Governor and Congressman Mark Sanford, and businessman Mark Lynch, interim Senator Darlene Graham, attorney Duke Buckner, Samuel Shepard, former mayor of Myrtle Beach, Mark McBride, and Danny Ford Jr. are also running for the seat. Gail Parker is also on the ballot. I sat down with her yesterday, and you can see that full interview on our website. President Trump is making another push to limit birthright citizenship in the United States. He signed 2 new executive orders. One limits the number of people eligible for citizenship after their birth in the U.S. The other seeks to curb so-called birth tourism by increasing restrictions on visitors getting visas if they want to give birth while in the country. Back in June, the Supreme Court rejected the president's efforts to declare children born to people in the U.S. illegally or temporarily are not American citizens. Well, as we head to break, let's head outside for a live look out over the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk. Don't go anywhere. Local coverage you can count on returns right here in just a few minutes.